Hey, good Wednesday evening, everyone. Look who's here.
Hey, everyone.
It's Andrew DePaulo. You know, Mike Joyce and I used to do tag team
Yeah.
Weather for Weather Geeks, so this is kind of a throwback. We are tag teaming today, cooking up some new graphics for you and all sorts of good stuff. One thing for sure, today we talked a lot about wind.
Yeah.
And we talked about warmth. I wanted to start out this video and talk about the highs. You know, yesterday our forecast was too warm because of the clouds and the drizzle and the fog. So we actually we busted a little on the low side yesterday. Our forecast was on the money today, though. We had 65. It got to 64 this afternoon.
Yeah.
Did you manage to find your way outdoors at any point today?
A little bit, off and on, but it was generally inside.
I walked the dog this morning, and both the dog and I were happy that the sun was breaking out. And
beautiful day.
Yes, it was. And we're not going to have too many more days like this in the current pattern. You might see a return of this kind of weather late next week, but we definitely have some changes on the way. This was day 10 in a row, 10 of above average temperatures after a cool start to the month of March, 10 days in a row. And for the month, we're at 9.6 above average. And you know, Andrew, we're climbing the list now of warmest Marches on record.
Yeah.
The march upwards is going to come to a screeching halt as we head into the weekend.
Yeah.
But as it stands now, we're definitely in the top 10 as far as warmest Marches. Yeah. On record here. The wind today, we installed a weather station on the roof here at the station a couple weeks ago, and our record was set a couple weeks ago at 32 miles per hour on the roof. Today we got close. It gusted to 30 up there. And at the airport, it gusted to 45 or 44 earlier on today. And here in the 7 o'clock hour, look at these gusts, still 53 in Toledo. That is pretty impressive, especially in the evening. We're gusting to 29 here in Youngstown and 39 in Cleveland.
That low had really nice circulation on it. That really nice, noticeable counterclockwise flow that we saw on the satellite. Yeah,
and the other thing that we had going for us today in terms of wind is the atmosphere was really well mixed today. I posted about this on social media this morning. The air was mixing from the surface up to like 7,000 feet, and that's impressive. A lot of times we don't mix much more than a few hundred feet off the ground, but today we were mixing up to 7,000 feet, and that allowed a lot of that even higher wind energy to get pulled south out of those higher elevations. All right, let's zoom in, and I wanted to show, even though the weather's quiet now, I did want to show what happened this morning. We had a pretty good little thunder shower that pushed through Trumbull County this morning. This was at about 10:30. This produced lightning and thunder and a nice downpour up here from Cortland up to about Kinsman, kind of that corridor. This was, again, around 10:30 this morning. Our news director lives up here in the boonies, and northeastern Trumbull, and she sent a tweet that said she was getting some pea-sized hail up there. And I did want to show that our Storm Tracker hail algorithm did pick up on that. Right here at about, ignore the last 5 minutes, this was about 10:30 or so this morning, getting some peas up here in the far northeastern corner of Trumbull County. We might see a repeat of this tomorrow.
Yeah.
The air is cold aloft again tomorrow. We're going to have these kind of convective showers again towards the end of the afternoon, and we might have a repeat of this sort of thing where something could produce some pea-sized hail. All right, the wind's going to diminish tonight somewhat. It'll still be kind of breezy, but tomorrow's going to be another windy day. You know, Andrew, we're going to be mixing again way up to about 7,000 feet, and that wind energy is going to get pulled down. And our model here showing 34, 35. I think we can gust to 40 again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a pretty impressive day in terms of the wind. Again, maybe a shower late. Here's a look at Futurecast tomorrow. Sunny morning and midday, and even into the first part of the afternoon.
Yeah.
But right here, getting close to dinner time, might start to see a few popcorn, some real popcorn kind of convective showers popping up out ahead of the cold front. The front's not here yet, so it's still going to be warm tomorrow. We've got 60 for our high tomorrow afternoon. But all good things must come to an end.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here we go, Friday. The air could be cold enough Friday that you'll see some snow showers in a few spots. We are not going to be exactly popular Friday and over the weekend.
Everyone's going to hate me on the weekend morning show.
As many compliments as we've gotten lately, our popularity sinks pretty quickly. It's amazing how that works. A shower of rain or even wet snow at any point on Friday. That front's going to sink to the south, and you'll need the shades on Saturday as high pressure builds in from the north. But it's going to be cool. Probably not much better than the lower 40s on Saturday. And that's pretty typical, actually, in mid-March. It sounds pretty cool all of a sudden because we've gotten used to being in the 60s. So all of a sudden March sounds pretty cool. You know, interestingly enough, when you look back at the last 10 years, the date in which we've picked up our last measurable snow mostly in April. Only 2 dates in March here, 2008 and 2010. And last year we picked up 0.7 inches on April 23rd. So it wouldn't be unusual at all to pick up some minor accumulating snow during late March or even early April. And when you look back at a 30-year average, the average date's about April 8th.
Yeah.
For the last measurable snow, something more than a trace, something more than just flurries. The earliest date I could find, going back, about 100 years worth of records, actually St. Patrick's Day in 1978. That was the earliest in the spring season that we saw our last measurable snow. And it has snowed as late as May 16th.
Wow.
Back in 1956.
It's impressive.
It is impressive, and you want to talk about us being unpopular. Imagine if that happened this year, because that's after a lot of people plant a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't,
Close to opening of the pools.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, usually Memorial Day.
Exactly. So let's talk about the upcoming weekend. I mentioned Saturday's going to be a pretty quiet day. Here's the GFS showing the moisture off to the south. It gets a little interesting here as we head into Saturday night and Sunday. Now, this is the GFS showing low pressure off the coast, maybe kind of a close shave for the northeast, mid-Atlantic states, and maybe there's some sort of light snow or flurries that tries to crawl up the Appalachians here on Sunday, and might bring us a little dusting or something.
That's what we're going to keep an eye on. Exactly the models, where they're pinpointing that, and how far west they have that snow going.
Yeah, because this is the GFS, and then here's the European ensemble. And notice it's farther west with the low track.
Yeah.
Here's Sunday evening. A lot of the ensemble has the low almost coming ashore in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And the implications with this would be snow would be farther west, and maybe even impacting our viewing area. Here's a look at the European ensemble mean snow forecast. And, it has a couple inches worth of snow all the way back to like I-79.
Yeah.
And that's the ensemble. The control or main run of the ensemble has a couple inches as far back as I-77 in Ohio. And this is the European, and generally in meteorological circles we regard the European as kind of the king of the hill as far as modeling goes. So when it's showing something like this, even if the other modeling isn't necessarily picking up on it, our ears perk up. It's the European. Now, it may be wrong. Oftentimes the European is wrong, but it's wrong less often than the other models. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Maybe some sort of surprise snow for the first day of spring on Sunday.
That'll be an interesting forecast Saturday morning for me and Saturday evening for Candace as well.
If you guys have to forecast snow, again, you're going to get some hate mail, I think. I think it's going to warm up at the end of next week after a cool start. Yeah. And then the modeling, the climate model here, shows a lot of back and forth as we head into April. Here's the first few days of April showing a cooling trend, and then a little bit of a warm-up as we head into the second week of April. And then a cool down a little bit here and there as we go into mid-April. And, this would be kind of typical of spring.
Yeah.
Ups and downs and that sort of thing. I think April may shake out to be close to or maybe a little above average, but not as above average as March.
Okay.
And February. February, of course, was ridiculously warm. So April might be a little bit closer to average, more of a typical April than February and March. But we'll see how that pans out.
Well, it's still warm, though.
Exactly. Yeah. I think overall it's still going to be perceived as an early spring.
Yeah.
For the region. All right, that's a long 8.5 minute. It goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Weather for Weather Geeks on this Wednesday. I will see you back here on 21 News at 11 tonight. More Weather Geeks tomorrow evening. Be sure to follow Andrew on social media, and you can check out his forecast every weekend morning, dark and early, on WFMJ Weekend Today. Have a good night.